When the Anglo-Saxons first arrived in Britain, they avoided the old Roman settlements. The large, stone-built Roman towns seemed strange to them, and they preferred to live in smaller, simpler communities that were closer to nature. Instead of using the crumbling Roman buildings, the Anglo-Saxons built their villages in more rural areas where they could farm the land. In those times, you couldn't just go to a market to buy food like today. People had to grow their own crops and raise animals to survive. Families would plant vegetables, grow grains, and keep livestock like pigs, sheep, and cattle. Life was centered around the land and what it could provide. Archaeologists have found the remains of an Anglo-Saxon village at West Stow in Suffolk, which gives us a good idea of what life was like back then. The village was made up of wooden houses, and each house had a thatched roof. The homes were simple, but they were built to be sturdy and warm, as surviving the cold winters was essential. The discoveries at West Stow show us how the Anglo-Saxons organised their settlements, with homes arranged around open spaces where people worked together to farm and raise animals. Not all Anglo-Saxon buildings were small, though. Some were much larger and more impressive, especially those built for kings and important leaders. Kings often had large halls, which were the centre of life in their kingdoms. These grand halls were where the king and his warriors would gather for feasts, meetings, and celebrations. These buildings were made of timber and had high ceilings, and they were decorated with beautiful carvings and banners. The halls were places of power and showed the wealth and importance of the rulers who lived there. These impressive structures stood in contrast to the simpler homes of most Anglo-Saxons, but were a symbol of the growing kingdoms and communities they were building in Britain.